Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Ms. Jewell, welcome to the committee. Thank you for your willingness to serve. I echo the Chairman's comments about my appreciation for the time that you have spent visiting with so many of us, not only talking, but listening. And we all recognize that that is so key, that is so important. I know that there are many questions. We've got a good roundup here this morning in committee, so I will get right to the point in my opening comments here. For the past several weeks, much of my time has been focused on a decision that came out of the Department of Fish and Wildlife Service, a decision that has really rattled me to the core, to put it very simply. That agency somehow found cause to oppose a single-lane, 10-mile gravel road, non-commercial use that would connect King Cove, Alaska to the all-weather airport of Cold Bay. And the reason that we need this very simple road is equally simple, and it is for the safety of human life, which is at risk. That road would give anyone that is injured or ill a much better chance of surviving, especially when the weather is far more severe than perhaps we might have seen in this region yesterday. Now, Ms. Jewell, we discussed this issue in person last week, so I'm not going to devote much of my time here today to that, but what I will say is that this issue should never reach your desk should you be confirmed. Secretary Salazar has stated that he has a moral obligation to uphold the trust responsibility for American Indians and Alaska Natives. And I note that in your written statement, you provide that one of your top priorities is in upholding the sacred trust responsibilities to the Native American and the Alaska Native communities. Respect for the Aleuts must be balanced with respect for the refuge. And it's my expectation that Secretary Salazar will look into his heart, he will consider that moral obligation, and he will make the right decision to allow that land exchange and the road to proceed. And until that happens, King Cove will stand as a prime example of federal overreach and the harm that it can cause. And the reality is that nearly all of us, particularly those of us in the western states, we all have our own King Cove. We all have our own example of where we see that intrusion there. We are all aware of instances where misguided federal restrictions are making it harder for local people to live, to be safe, to prosper. And we can all relate examples of a lack of balance in the Department's policies that should further, but too often ignore, its mission to honor multiple uses of public lands. Now, I would anticipate that you're going to hear two main sets of concerns expressed today. The first will be as it relates to your experience, and I will acknowledge it is very important to have a background in energy development as you do. I've enjoyed the conversation and understanding more of where you have come from. More recently, in your career, you have focused on conservation. You do have less experience, less familiarity with public lands policy than many past nominees for this position, and some of the issues where you have weighed in, including the Wild Lands Initiative, are unsettling to many. So as a result, I think this morning you need to convince us that you will maintain that balance in the various missions and the interests of the Department of the Interior. We're looking for you to demonstrate an understanding of the issues that face our states, and again, we're looking for your strong commitment to this tenet of multiple use. We need you to affirm that public lands provide not just a playground for recreational enthusiasts, as important as that is, but also paychecks for countless energy producers, miners, loggers, ranchers. Now, the second set of concerns you may hear is based on broader discontent within the Department of Interior itself. Despite tremendous resources on federal lands, nearly all gains in energy production have occurred on state and private lands. Notices to lessees have replaced real offshore regulation. Federal fracking proposals threaten to reverse the good work that states are doing. We rank dead last in the world in permitting mining projects. And to again turn to my home state of Alaska, for every issue where we feel like we're making some progress, for example, on wood bison, sea otters, there are other areas where the Department apparently fails to hear us. The pressing need to clean up legacy wells within NPRA, land conveyances that were due decades ago, these are some of the examples that come to my mind. But Ms. Jewell, I'm looking forward to hearing more about your vision for the Department of Interior. And Mr. Chairman, I will conclude by noting that I look forward to working with you to consider many of the additional nominations at both Interior and the Department of Energy that we will have in the months ahead. Thank you, and look forward to your testimony, Ms. Jewell. Thank you.
Thank you.